Hi everyone, I'm Zoe from Zoe's Fancy Cakes, and today I'd like to introduce you all to Emma from Renshaw's. Emma's going to be making some Christmas trees with us today, and we're going to be using the Renshaw's modelling chocolate.
So today we're going to be showing you two different trees. So we've got this lovely white one and more traditional green one. This is using two different ruffle techniques using the Renshaw chocolate modelling paste.
Right, so let's get started. So we've got a board, we've stuck some little feet on, we've drilled a hole in the size of our rod, which is 10mm, and then we're going to start by putting a washer and a nut on the bottom of it. Have I done this right?
Yeah. I'm just letting you do it.
Slot this under our board. So another washer, another bolt. So we have to screw it all the way down there.
Yeah.
Then you do all the fun bits. So we've just got a big cake drum. It's just a bit bigger than our wooden thing, just to cover up the wooden thing. You don't have to use that if you don't want. It's got a hole big enough that it's just going to go over that bolt. And a washer. And then a bolt. I'm going to let Emma screw it down again. So we're going to put on, it's a cake dowel, a hollow cake dowel, and I've cut it to the length that we want the little tree trunk. So we're just going to slide this on. I'm going to force it over. It's another washer. And then we've got a cake drum that's the same size as our bottom tier of our cake, so it's 7 inches this one. I'm going to slide that on there. We just need to make sure we get rid of any bits that come out of the card. Got another washer to sandwich the board between. And I'm going to put a small cake card on with a hole so that it just covers up our washer so it doesn't come into contact with our actual cake. And then the last bolt on the top to hold it all in place. So we get plastic straw so that we cover that, and then we also need to cover the bolt, so I've got a little bit left of my cake dowel. And we're going to force this over. And then we can always fill in here with a bit of chocolate ganache so that our cake doesn't come into contact with that rod. So we've baked some chocolate cakes ready. They're all about 4 inches tall, and we've cut them into 4, and we've got 7-inch, 6, I forgot what comes after 6, 5, 4, and then we've just used some cookie cutters to cut some smaller ones out as well. So we need to start stacking these onto our frame. So we're going to make a hole in the top of each one so it slides on here. Aim for roughly the centre.
And then we're going to use that as a guide from the centre for that one.
Good thinking, see, I wouldn't have even thought of that.
Just doing the same thing on all of them.
So we're going to put some chocolate ganache on here so that we can stick our first layer of cake on. I'm not too worried about it being neat on this one. Just more to stick it in place. We'll just stick a little bit down in there so that our cake doesn't get stuck down that dowel.
Next we're going to put the first layer of cake on, so this has the bigger hole in it. And just slide that over and just lightly press it down so it's in contact with the ganache.
So we've made some buttercream, some green and red, and we're going to layer it through.
Okay, next layer.
This one up. So we've moved on to the next size. So we're just going to use these big cake dowels again. They look like cake straws, and we're going to push them in. Do you think 4 will be enough?
Yeah.
Do you feel it's hit the bottom?
Or even 3.
Yeah, I reckon we can
triangle.
get away with 3.
Yeah.
I'm going to cut it so it's about level with the surface.
Yeah.
So now the dowels are in, we can place our little cake card on. And then we'll put a little bit of ganache on the top of our board. So let's put our next layer on. Try and line it up the best you can. Give it a little press down again.
Press that bit down. If you've got any loose bits, just take them bits off. Ooh. So now we're going to start carving the cake. So the best thing to do with this is to start from the top and carve downwards.
So we're going to do a crumb coat now in our ganache, so a thin layer over the entire cake, because it will smear the buttercream a little bit, so just a thin layer first, then once this is set we'll go over with a second layer. Am I elbowing you in the face, Emma?
No, you're alright. Yeah.
And now we're just going to go a bit thicker with a little bit more ganache now. So we're going to cover the tree in a mix of fondant and modelling chocolate together. And we've got the Renshaw's Extra in white, because it's nice and firm, and we're just going to knead it in with some white modelling chocolate. So we're just going to roll this out into a rough triangle kind of shape, and we're going to try and roll it out. While Emma's finishing rolling out the fondant and chocolate mix, we're going to put some water on our tree. Okay, so for the board I've rolled out some white fondant, a couple of millimetres thickness, big enough to cover the board, and then we're going to put a cut down the middle of it, just towards the centre, a little bit of water on the cake board, and then we're going to slide the fondant onto the board. Just push the seam together at the back, and then we're going to trim around the edge with a knife. So we're going to decorate some chocolate baubles for decorating the tree later. Now we've just pre-bought these chocolate ones. We'll put links in the description box below the video to everything that we've used. And we're just playing around really with some little metallic dusts and seeing which ones we like the look of the most.
I'm just using a large soft brush just to apply the luster dust over the top of the milk chocolate modelling paste stars. And then this is the star for the top, so you can be quite liberal with it. Get all the way around the sides. Okay, so just to attach the skewer to the star, I'm just going to dip it in a little bit of piping gel. Just scrape off the excess, and then just pop that back inside, slightly press down, and leave that to set.
Okay. For my second little tree, I'm just cutting some red stripes and rolled some white fondant, and I'm going to make some little candy canes using a cutter, so I'm just going to pop across here all my stripes. So for my green tree, we've got some yellow paste. I've used modelling paste on this one, but you can use fondant with a bit of Tylose. Again, I'm going to use a little star cutter. And we'll put a stick in the end again, with a little bit of piping gel on to hold it in place. I've mixed the white modelling chocolate with a little bit of black fondant to get a grey colour for my bark, but you can have whatever colour you want. Just check it's a little bit taller than that, and we're just going to trim a little bit off the top and bottom.
Okay, so I've kneaded up some white chocolate modelling paste to make the fans. Okay, so just make sure this is really nice and pliable and warm. To pin this out, I'm going to put it through the pasta machine and make it thin. And then I'm going to cut a 20cm rectangle. And then to make the fan, I'm just going to curl at both ends. You can give a light dusting of corn flour just to help it not stick. And then concertina paste. Okay, and then I'm going to pinch at the top and then pull out either end. And then just at the top there, because that's quite bulky, I'm just going to pin that down, make it flat, and then that also attaches it, makes it all nice and smooth. And then leave them there for a few minutes just to set those pleats.
Just putting piping gel onto our cake. See, it does move around a little bit at the moment, so just be careful with it. And we're gonna pull these out a little bit and stick them firmly onto the cake. And we're gonna keep doing this all the way around, just making sure they're overlapping each other a little bit and that they're pressed on nice and tight. So we're going to add a little bit of colour, pearlescent white, just so it's got a nice shine to it and it's a little bit whiter than the yellow. I'm going to airbrush it on. So we've just diluted this with a tiny bit of water and put it in the airbrush.
I've got some white modelling chocolate, we've coloured it green. Just going to cut it to the length and the width of the ruler. And now we're just sticking the baubles and stars on with a bit of royal icing. Just make sure they're not too big and heavy, otherwise they'll drop off. So we're about done now with these, and then if you want to add any extra little bits to the front, you can do. So we've made some little figures. You can find these in some of our other YouTube videos. Maybe some white ones for this one. Put them there. So the fox is from our little winter Christmas cake tutorial last year.
And a little snowman.
Yeah. So we've got a smaller version just here. Different colours, slightly different ruffles. So have a play around and see what you like best. We've also got one here that Emma did earlier.
Yes, Roosters.
Thanks ever so much, Emma, for coming and doing the YouTube video with us.
Thank you, Zoe.
You're very welcome. And thank you everybody for watching, and happy Christmas.
Yes, Merry Christmas. Bye.
If you liked the video, be sure to hit the thumbs up button and leave me a comment below. You can see more of my tutorials by clicking on the images on screen now. If you haven't already, make sure you click the subscribe button to stay up to date with my future tutorials. There are also links in the description box below where you can find me on Facebook, Instagram and more.